Welcome to another extraordinary episode of the Travel Ones podcast. Today's guest is the incredible Sasha Prendes. Join us as we dive into the captivating world of this talented pop singer and explore her unique blend of Cuban roots, Kansas upbringing, and the vibrant energy of Brooklyn that shapes her music now. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to our channel to stay tuned for more incredible episodes like this one. Let's get started. So I'm excited to talk to you today. It's going to be a fun episode. I
For
haven't,
sure.
I think you're my first Cuban.
Okay.
So, I think you're my first Kansas,
Setting the bar high.
but you're not my first New Yorker. So I don't know. It'd be how was being a Latin pop singer doing for you?
You know, I feel like I'm living out my dreams. Truly. Truly, I do. It's funny that you say, well, you're kind of a New Yorker. Definitely kind of a New Yorker in the sense that I've been here for 8 years now.
Not quite 10. You need 10 to call
Yeah,
it.
you need 10 and then you're like in it. Um, but no, I've been enjoying doing music now for the last several years, especially since I moved to New York. That's really when I started taking things seriously and took that leap of faith, and here we are.
And you have your acting chops going. I watched your one of your commercials. So
Oh man, I love commercials. I think they are so much fun. And I think because I have this like goofy personality and I like to be really silly like all the time, especially during moments when you're not supposed to be silly.
yeah.
That's where I feel like I shine because that's just who I am. So when I can do like these little funny, cheesy commercials, it just like brings me immense joy.
So is it are you just pursuing whatever it takes to stay in the entertainment industry as far as acting or singing and because the videos you do are awesome.
Thank you. I started singing and acting at the same time. I feel like they go hand in hand.
Yeah.
I'm just blessed that I kind of had this natural ability to sing, and then that was developed over time as a kid, watching sing-along videos and just singing all the time. And my mom was always getting me to sing, and I loved Power Rangers and Barney and Disney sing-along. That was like my go-to. I think that's genuinely how I learned how to read and sing at the same time.
I'll have to show this little clip to Steve Cardenas. He was the Red Power Ranger that I interviewed a while ago.
Stop.
Yeah,
My
yeah.
first love. You interviewed my first love, my first crush as a peanut?
It's pretty incredible. I didn't know I wasn't a big Power Ranger person, right? So when I interviewed him, I was like, oh, this is cool. He's a black belt in jujitsu uh and I did jujitsu. And it was all of a sudden like the comments and fans that that he attracts is like, wow, okay, I guess
Yeah.
Power Rangers is a big deal.
I'm a black belt in Taekwondo, so is my dad. And we used to compete as a family, me, mom, dad, my little brother, and we used to all do competitive Olympic sparring
Yeah.
and like walk around and fight and stuff. And yeah, I've been a Power Ranger since I was little. So yeah, Red Power Ranger. Hi, what's up? Full circle. We've
Like,
gone full circle.
that's how I feel. It's like it's interesting because uh, you never know. Like people always say, "Well, who's the most famous person you interviewed or whatever?" And I'm like, "Well, it depends." Like some of the people I've interviewed, my wife's like, "Who?" And I'm like, "Are you kidding me?" But then I'll say like Meryl Davis, and she's like, oh. I'm like, she won the gold medal in ice dancing, ice skating. And
Amazing.
so my wife used to ice skate, so she knows all the skaters. So it's kind of the same deal. Like,
It's one of those things where like I feel like fame is also relative.
yeah, oh yeah.
What you're into, to what you like, to what entertainment and media you consume. But yeah, Red Power Ranger, that's hot. He was always a hottie. What's up, man? Hi, big fan over here. Sasha Prendes, nice to meet you.
I'll have to. You can go to the New York Comic Cons and meet them.
Oh no, I've never been to Comic Con.
I
I
haven't
feel like
either. Oh, I've been to one,
I would have a total blast. That's a good idea. I
and
should
you get to see all the people you grew up with signing autographs and doing all that. So
love it.
you have to, yeah. You see, you got to experience New York.
There's so much I haven't done. And you could live there for 100 years and still not hit every restaurant and every event and every pop-up and every club. And it's such an amazing city for that reason.
Is there any thought moving down to Miami? with your Cubana.
Funny that you say that. Funny that you say that. I have a lot of friends who've recently moved down to Miami. A
Sure.
very good friend of mine has an incredible show at the Faina. And it's her show, it's her production. And another good friend of mine is doing the production for her. Like they're creating original music together. And
Nice.
it's like one of the hottest shows in Miami Beach right now. And I'm so proud of her. And there's so many opportunities down in Miami for music and for fun. And I went down for Latin Billboard Week and connected with a lot of people. I just feel like I'm a New Yorker, but I'm never going to say no to going down south. But my family is here, my life is
Yeah.
here. Um, I like the weather here. Yes, I like the rain. Yes, I like the cold. I like a mix of everything. But Miami is fantastic. I do see myself spending more time down there, especially after this next project is released.
But so you have new music coming out. You have some dates coming up. What, what
Yes.
for my listeners? What's the best way for them to follow with what you have coming up?
So y'all can follow me anywhere music lives, Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Instagram, and it's all under Sasha Prendes with an S.
Which is pretty easy. Yeah,
Pretty
you got pretty lucky.
Sasha Prendes. I did. I did. I remember like looking things up and I had a bit of an identity crisis when I was younger and being like, well, what should my name be? Like this is an opportunity to reinvent myself, to
Yeah,
become
sure.
somebody else. So I was like, oh, and I wanted to just be Sasha, but there's a very famous DJ from Russia who's named Sasha, and a lot of people online I found, there's a bajillion Sashas, but then there's no
Like
Sasha Prendes. So I've been able to
scoop
keep
them
all of
all up.
those. Yeah, keep all those usernames, website, sashaprendes.com. You can find me. You can find
Yeah,
me anywhere.
exactly. Wait, other than, I mean, you seem like you have a natural tendency to be a performer and entertainer. Do you get nervous about the fame? Now,
A
I mean,
little
'cause you're in a
bit.
big city, so it's not a big deal. Like, I mean, very famous people can walk around and not be noticed in New York City. But like
Very true.
when you go out and about, do you get nervous about going to like an airport or
My favorite though is when fans come up to me and are like, "Are you Sasha Prendes?" And I'm like, "Yes, totally. Do you want to take a picture?" Like I love that. I've been waiting for that forever. So, and especially like the little kids, like when the little kids know me or when
yeah,
I toured last winter, that was a lot of fun. I got to meet a lot of youngins and they were so cute. One of them was like, "I want to be just like you." And I was like, "Just don't give up."
yeah.
Just don't give up. It's been hell. Of course, I'm not telling them that, but I'm telling the parents. I'm like, just don't give up. Put her in voice lessons, put her in dance, like get her involved to see how much she really loves it. And then if you want to, you know, join the good fight because it's not for the weak or the
So
faint.
since you brought that up, what are the difficulties in becoming a pop singer at this time?
Oh man, there's a lot. I'd say first and foremost, the most important thing is creating the music. That took me years to actually have a properly produced, mixed and mastered record to come out and to be heard by everyone that could compete.
Yeah.
Everything else that's out there was the hardest thing for me. I took down several songs that I had up, and now I'm actually having some of them like remixed and mastered just because like I have better producers in my life and better technology and things have improved like rapidly, especially since like
Yeah.
2015, 2016. So I've done a lot of that, doing a lot of rework just for it to have a better quality. I'm leaving all the vocals, I'm leaving everything the way it is because that was a moment in time and I
Yeah.
want to keep that, right? That energy, the voice, everything is all in there. And so to replace that or to redo it, there's no need for me to redo it, but just to have a little bit of a better sound quality. So when it comes out the speaker, you can feel that better. And that's expensive. So that's the first hurdle is like to create and to get it popping. And to spend thousands of dollars to make back pennies is a really fucked up business model. And unfortunately, that is what all artists are dealing with right now with streaming services and with monetization through social media. There's a lot happening in music. It's a great time to be alive and a great time to create because through chaos, you find inspiration.
Well,
Yeah.
most of the musicians I talk to say this exact same thing. They're like, I love making music. I just hate the music business.
Yeah, it's set up for us to fail,
Yeah.
truly. It's set up for us to fail, and if it wasn't so expensive to make music, I think things would be a little bit different, and I think the returns would make more sense, but because you're talking thousands and thousands of dollars going to making a track, and then if you add it all up to then me taking down a track, having it redone, and then re-uploading it and paying
Yeah.
for the streaming service to redistribute it all over again, it
And
does add
market it
up.
and advertise it and
Oh my god,
per
that's
click and
its own mess of a thing. I'd say another challenge is being authentic, right? So like being yourself and not just following trends. I have never been a TikTok person. I fucking
better
love
start.
that. I love TikTok. Well, they're about to ban it.
I know.
Oh, and the interesting part is I have a lot of content that I'll be able to repurpose and put onto TikTok. I have a much larger following on Instagram. And I'm grateful for any and all following that I have, right? I mean, it's incredible that anybody listens to my music, let alone knows who I am and knows the words to my songs. Like that means a lot to me because that means that I get you and you get me. And
Yeah.
that's the whole point, right? Like that's that urge that you have inside to like get it out. At least that's for me, not for everyone. I'm not here trying to chase fame and I'm definitely not in it for the money because that's not what it's about. It's about creating it and creating this art, and when you do what you love, the money will come, right? It's
Sure.
about
Or it
just
might
that
not, but
experience.
you still end up being happy.
Well, that's what life is about,
Yeah.
and most artists don't even make their money through music. They make it through other means, whether it's endorsements, merchandise, product lines, partnerships, just having a completely other separate business
Well,
from music that
it's funny you
pays
say that
your bill.
because like Jared Leto, right? Singer from 30 Seconds to Mars.
Yeah,
He acts, he owns several companies outside. He handles all the meet and greets for other bands. So he has a company that schedules the meet and greets and sets that all up.
that's where you make a lot of your money as well,
Because
and
for my listeners that don't know and they think, oh wow, you've got so many Spotify. How much do you make per stream? Do you know?
like 0.0000001%
Yeah,
of a dollar of a penny.
yeah,
Not even. It's not
ridiculous.
lucrative. It's not lucrative. It's not
Because
lucrative.
I think people say, oh, you have a million, you have 10 million streams on Spotify, and you're like, yeah, it's like 3 grand. It's like it means not. It's like
Doesn't cover rent in New York, that's for sure.
yeah, much less just about it. Well, yeah, New York's. I'm in Los Angeles, so it's the same way.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I
And
mean, I don't think fans understand that you really. I think on the a YouTube play, I saw that it was like a point. It was like a penny and an eighth per play. It's like okay,
I spent days and thousands of
yeah,
dollars making that music video
yeah,
for you to scrub through it.
yeah,
But that is the world that we live in, right? So you
sure,
have to really love what you do, and I love what I do, and I can't stop, and I won't stop. So even if I'm making music just for me, I'm still gonna make it. And it's
sure.
funny, I got off the phone with my producer this morning, who's one of my best friends. His name is James Oliver. And I was like, I wrote a song the last couple days and I haven't been able to get it out of my mind. And it's just like there and whatever, and I'm like recording voice notes on my phone, no
Yeah,
music, no nothing, just in my car pressing record, going like, like da-da-da, and like singing it. And then I send it to him and then he's like, okay, I feel,
I
I
get
hear
it.
that. I
Yeah,
hear that. And two artists that I always reference that I believe that they made it because they have a team or they have a partner, right, is Taylor Swift and Jack Antonoff. They really took off after her 1989 album when they did Out of the Woods. And and a Grammy speech, he got up and was like, if it wasn't for Taylor kicking down the door for me, like no one would have taken me seriously as a producer, as a young producer.
yeah,
And they started working together and then, they've made 4 albums since and they work really well together. Him and Lana Del Rey as well. Super, super great. Super great, strong compatibility music-wise. I have that with my boy James. I also have that with another artist named Krona, where we just understand each other and it's all love and we're also like incredibly good friends. Drake and OVO 40.
yeah. I was gonna say like Billy and her brother Phineas.
And her brother, these people, when you make music, especially if you're like pouring out your heart and soul, and you're not just trying to make something that's going to go viral or make something trendy or, you know, and you can make fun music and funny music, but when you're like really putting out like your pain and your love and your happiness and all of your things in there, you're exposing yourself. And so when you're in the booth, that energy and that authenticity has to come out. You need to feel safe. You need to feel safe and secure. And there's nothing worse for me than making music with a producer that you don't feel safe with. And unfortunately, I have experienced that several times. And I can say I'm about 50-50 with the people that I've worked with, where 50% have been amazing and 50% have been scumbags.
Not amazing.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it 100.
Yeah.
I have no shame with it because it's the truth. And with everything coming out in the music industry right now, of all the terrible things that have
Yeah.
happened to other artists who've made it, it really makes you wonder, like, do you really have to trade your safety and security for fame and fortune? I don't think so. I think you
I
can
don't think
genuinely
so either. I think, well, we'll find out, I guess. But when that gets all exposed, but yeah, I mean, it's pretty shady. I mean, the music industry's been shady for decades. I mean, longer than you've been alive, decades.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
You know,
And it's sad because, and then to continue going on to the challenges of being in the market, right? In this marketplace, there's so much music. It's oversaturated. Anybody can upload, which is freedom, which I
yeah,
love. I love that anybody can upload their stuff. I love that we all have the ability now to just create and do what we want. And we can make music in our bedrooms and we can record and post acoustic videos of ourselves on YouTube. Like I think that is beautiful. I think it is a gift from God for a creative. And then there's a lot of people who ain't got the sauce, and you're
yeah,
oversaturating the market, or they have more money than you to promote songs that maybe have like a bad message and
yeah,
aren't making the
yeah,
world a better place. And again, all about free speech, all about
yeah,
freedom of creativity and saying whatever you want. But that's what artists are competing against. They're
yeah.
competing against big budgets, they're competing against a lot of gatekeeping. And like you said, there's a lot of bad actors in the industry, but that's in every industry. But
Everything.
unfortunately, entertainment has glorified and put a lot of bad people on the pedestal.
Well, and see, we're just talking because I wasn't even thinking about this, but I think the music industry and even entertainment industry with actors, because you have Harvey Weinstein, did the same things. Kind of, hey, do you want to be in a movie? Well, here's what it takes.
Yeah, and I've
Yeah.
I've had offers like that to me. Hey, you want to do this? You want to be on the cover of this? Why don't
Yeah.
you come over? And I'm over here like, and
Mm, well,
may I? Not even may I. I don't need permission to do shit.
yeah.
I sat there and I remember being like, well, I could do this. And I could do that, and I could get this, but where does it stop? Where
Well,
wh
it
where
doesn't.
where does it end? Is it gonna be like that every time? And, like, it's it's shitty for women and girls to be put in this position, and now boys, men
I was gonna say,
and boys, we're all put in this, like, weird corner where it's, like, an exchange of success for sexual favors. What?
well,
This is
even
this
the
this
bad
is
part.
bananas. What,
Think
like, how is this still a thing, you
think
know?
think about it. Even if you like, if I was with my wife and we were hanging out at Diddy's house and we had fun, an artist's house, and we were just having fun in one of the rooms one night, not knowing he had cameras in every room. I wouldn't necessarily want whatever I did with my wife to be available for everyone to see, and that's kind of the Playboy Mansion was infamous for that. The Playboy Mansion here in LA he had cameras in every room, so if anybody went over there and anything accidentally happened, he had it on him.
And I think that is what is killing the
Yeah,
industry. I think that's killing creativity. I think it's hurting people, and hurt people make great music.
sure.
Pain leads to creativity and can create great music. But again, at what expense? At what expense?
Find out.
People are living with trauma for their entire life, and so I think God protected me as a kid. I had been casted at 16 through some Disney Channel producers to be a part of something to move to LA. My family was like, we're all excited. And they were like, okay, Sasha, you just need to take this test and you can graduate high school early. And then you can come and you sign this piece of paper and you can come and you can work full time on set, even, at 16, 17 years old to
Yeah.
prove that, all these different, leeways so you can get into working. And I remember being like, please, mom and dad, like my dreams are coming true. And they just had a really bad feeling about it.
Yeah.
And my dad's like, I hate to be, I hate to be like this. My parents are young. So they're like, we don't want to be, the old Cuban mentality of like, you got to go to college and you got to do this. But they were like, we really want you to do that. We don't feel comfortable at 16, just like shipping you off to LA to go live in a group home
Thank
and
God they did.
go figure things out. And at 16, I was extremely impressionable and didn't have the same strength that I do now to say no to things. And I 100% believe that I would have succumbed to all types of stuff just because I was so desperate to get my family out of the poor financial situation that we were in. Because all these kids are paying for their parents' homes and all these kids are landing these big roles and they're pulling their parents out of poverty. And I was over here like, I can help the whole family. Like our water's never getting cut off again. Like, let me use my talents and I can do this, right? So you have this passion, and then that passion and that dream and that drive to do whatever it takes for love for the people that you love gets exploited.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think God was like, all right, Sasha, this isn't going to be your
Not
path.
yet.
I'm going to have you do something a little bit different. And so coming out now as a rising Latin pop singer, where I sing in Spanglish, because again, American, born here, but also Cuban, to sing in both languages, which is make up who I am.
Yep.
I'm able to, I'm able to go into it as an adult, make decisions, and be sure and certain with every decision I make. I have an amazing support group. My dad is my best friend, run everything through my family
Yep.
and my close people. And it takes a really long time to build a team. It takes a really long time to build a team. So to kind of go back to the initial question of what are some of the challenges, here's some of the solutions.
Yeah.
I think young artist, any artist at any age, get a team. Singers, find a producer, find someone who wants to grow with you, who understands you, someone who you can trust. Find videographers that you also can love and trust and want to create with you, and we all create dope things together.
Yeah.
I have two videographers that I work with extensively, Luca Funduk and Jenna Michon, and they both are just angels in my life. I mean, I can't tell you the amount of times like Luca has been there for me when I'm like hysterically crying or going through something or have a problem with my car on the side of the road, and homie's right there for me. Like I'm talking like real friends, loyalty, who also believe in you and know that your music is dope. And if they like it and you like it, that's all that matters. Create.
And obviously some other people like it.
Yeah, obviously some other people.
I mean, if it was
But you have to like it, you
if
have to
just the three of you,
just the three amigos over here
yeah.
making music and making videos.
But
But
you're obviously doing something right.
yeah, and I think a lot of that too has to do with my foundation, has to do a lot with my faith. I pray a lot. And since being in this industry and going through a lot of unique situations, I've
Yeah.
definitely gotten a lot closer to God. And before I go in anywhere, I'm always praying. I'm always asking for guidance. All my friends have my location. So when I go to meet people at hotels before shows
Yeah.
to go meet some rappers who want to do something with me, my dad's like, the hell you're not going to a
Yeah.
hotel for a pregame to go meet some rappers? And I'm like, no, honestly, trust your gut. I'm like,
But no,
no,
for real. Yeah.
no, for real. They're good people. Like I have a good feeling about this. I'm gonna
Yeah.
go. And then other times I've been like, get me the fuck out of here. I need to get out of here. But you live and you learn. And thank God that I've been able to have my wits about me and to be safe and
You,
to not get
you need to
terribly
come up
hurt.
with my wife. We have a safe word.
Yeah.
And so as soon as if she says it or if I say it, we know something's up. And then,
Oh, I like that. All right, guys. Safe word.
yeah,
We're gonna make up a safe word.
but it helps because like if Yeah, we're in LA. So like if we're downtown and you see some sketchy guys on that side of the street and you just kind of safe word to the left, and she'll be like, okay, got it.
Yeah, especially when you're just not paying attention.
Yeah.
That's the nice part about having a man, though. When you have a man in your life, when I have a man in my life and I'm walking down the street, I don't have to worry as much. I feel like men just naturally have this instinct to protect. So like y'all are kind of like scanning the street and I'm like making my way downtown.
Yeah.
I'm just like kind of in la la land, kind of doing my thing, walking in my heels,
That's my
but
wife.
as yeah, exactly. But as you get older, you realize you have to be more aware, or as you become more aware of where you are
Yeah. Yeah.
and the
But-
way cities
yeah.
and people are these days. It can be a little scary.
Well, like
So
when
that's
when I travel when I'm on the road by myself, I don't even think about twice. Like there are some hotels that I stay at that I wouldn't take my wife to, but I'm a guy and I'm by myself. It's whatever. But
yeah,
yeah, so
crazy that we have to do that. I feel like we have to do it now more than ever, and it wasn't always like that.
yeah. I also think it's interesting. I was going to ask you for people that travel a lot, and as you become more popular and famous, you'll be doing more shows and traveling. How do you balance boyfriend, family, life, all that? How does that work?
Boyfriend, family life. I mean, right now I'm single. I do have a crush. I do like somebody, but I'm single, and I think for me, being single has been the best thing during this part of my career.
Sure.
I've lost relationships in the past, in the last, if you talk about the last relationships I've had within the last 4 to 5 years, they've crumbled due to the fact that I was growing and they weren't growing with me.
Sure.
Right. So like you can grow with someone, but you kind of grow like parallel and you respect one another and you support one another. And everyone wants to date a pretty girl. Everyone wants to, oh yeah, my girl, she sings. Oh my God, she's so cool. She's an actress. She does this and that. But then sometimes they just can't really handle it, or they get insecure, or they feel inadequate,
Yeah.
or they're like, oh my God, you're just gonna go on set and you're gonna fall in love with someone else. And I'm like, no, I'm not, bro. What's wrong with you? Like where is this coming from? And then there's obviously other issues internally that people have to work through when you're insecure, right? Insecurity is not just one thing, it stems from a plethora of things and trauma and upbringing and all of that jazz. But I found that I needed to walk the path alone for a while. And then now I feel like there absolutely are great men out there who are confident in themselves and who would be great in a relationship with an artist. So don't give up, but you do have to walk the path a little bit by yourself because there are things you have to figure out on your own. And sometimes you can't do that in a relationship.
I'm trying to think back. I have several past guests, females, that do struggle. They're single, and like you just said, they're in rock bands, they're musicians, or this and that, and it's
Yeah.
tough. I mean, it,
It's tough. It's fun. And like, we live in a world of hookup culture.
yeah,
And when we're traveling or on tour, and like, I'm a romantic. So like, I fall in love all the time. And not like real love, but I fall in like all
yeah.
the time. And I write songs about it. And it's a whole
It's
lot
worked
of
out
fun.
for Taylor pretty well. So keep
Yeah,
going.
it worked out for Taylor, which is great. I mean, I think we all kind of do the same thing. And even before Taylor, where with her music, she got really vulnerable and really real, and it was almost like a direct letter to that person. And as a kid, before she came out, I was doing that as well, like
Yeah,
writing love letter songs at 8, 9, 10 years old to my crush in 5th grade. And she comes out when I'm in junior high, and I was like, wow, like this girl gets me.
yeah.
She wrote an album about high
All the,
school
yeah.
a high school in the middle of America. And I was like, growing up
That's
in
me.
Kansas, I was like, yes, this is me. I know what this feels like. So I think that's where she really gained a lot of popularity too, was just being really honest and open with her lyrics. And then that inspired me even more so to just keep writing. And it gave me, a cathartic experience and allowed me to really helped me get over a lot of hurt and a lot of good love because
Sure.
things are good, and then if it doesn't work out or they don't like you anymore, it was lust, it was like, it was
Fall on a
whatever.
crush. Yeah.
Yeah, you fall out of the crush. I mean, like it still kind of hurts, but it was beautiful, and I'm grateful that I have that moment captured in a song.
I need to ask you because
Yeah.
let's say you write a song about the crush that you have right now, right?
Yes.
And let's say it's a great song, great hook, good melody, good chorus, becomes your biggest hit.
Yeah. Okay.
In a few years, when the crush dies and marries some other girl and it has 3 kids, and you still have to sing that song forever,
Yeah.
are you going to be able to reframe it to a new relationship, or is it, it's like you're reliving. Like I have an ex-wife. If I had a song about her that I wrote and I had to continue to sing it, I'd be like, I don't want to fucking sing that song ever again.
Yeah, I feel like there's that. I think that is completely valid and
Yeah.
applicable. But also, you you can redirect a love song and be like, "Oh, honey, like I'm singing this to you now." But no
Yeah.
matter what, it will always be about that person. The story will always be that.
Yeah.
And as an actress, I'm able to get up on stage and sing that
Perform.
song and cry and put myself back in that place so that y'all can feel what it feels like, because for everyone else it's the first time that they're hearing me sing it live.
Yeah.
They've never heard it, they've never felt it, they don't really know the story. They're listening, and as an actress you go back into that zone, and it's easy because it's real and I was there and it happened, and I can put myself back and perform it.
That's a
And
tough
then you
one,
get
huh?
off, sometimes you're like,
Yeah.
"Okay, I'm back."
He's
But
still a jerk.
yeah, but yeah, but I think but I don't think that like right, like there's a song called Stay that I love. It's like my favorite song. It's my dad's favorite song and I sing it, and it's a really emotional song. And I was working with my dancers, preparing for these upcoming shows. And I was like, what do you guys think for this? What choreography should we do for this? Maybe we do an outfit change. And we're listening to it, and it's hardcore. It's the remix with my boy Krona. It's the Stay Angry remix that we did together. And it's awesome. We started filming the music video for it. It's really coming along great. And the dancers were like, I don't really I don't sense the choreography. This is all you. Like you just need to go out there and just flip your hair around and fall on the ground and like really like perform the song. And I was like, okay. And when you do that, you go all in, you're
Yeah.
throwing myself around, eyes are tearing up, do the whole thing, and then you get up, you take a deep breath, and you're like, okay.
Maybe you
And
just have your 2 dancers on the side stage just staring at you, looking at you.
yeah, just some extra eyes,
Yeah.
extra eyes while I pour my heart and soul out for
It gives
everyone.
them a break, gives them a
Yeah,
breather.
right. Gives them a little break. But the guy I wrote it about is married and has kids now and
Okay.
is like moved on with his life. And by no means do I want him back. And
Right.
that song is like some sort of whatever. It was at that moment in time. I wrote it. It was an awesome, dark, sad experience of me sitting on the piano on my living room floor when I was living in Brooklyn, and I wrote the song, and look what it is now, right? But again, it's very performative, but it all comes from a real place. And I think when you no longer feel that way towards someone, you can sing anything, you can perform anything. It's acting.
Are you worried about not finding? I mean, at least the Hispanics and Latin community that I know, family's a big deal.
Yeah.
I'm at some point your parents are gonna be saying, I need some bambinos. I mean, I need some.
Well, I mean, everyone already is like, but they also know. And this economy and the way things are right now and the way
Yeah.
the culture is, I think we're starting to have a culture shift where people are getting back to that. People are wanting to have families, wanting real relationships, because this whole like, you know,
Culture.
fuck everyone and have fun and do what you want is great. It's great for a period of time. It's a lot, yeah, whatever, you learn, but then you kind of, at least I can speak for myself and my friends and people that I know and love, and we've had this conversation many of times. You kind of get back to it. You kind of come back to that foundation. You got to come back to that path of like stability. And I hate the word settle. I think
Yeah.
settling down is like so toxic, because I'm not settling for you. I'm choosing you. Like if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this, you know? Um, Give me one second. This is kind of funny. Hold on.
Okay.
Hey, I am in the middle of a live podcast interview, darling. Can I call you back? Can I call you back? Okay, love you. Okay, bye. Oh my gosh. No, that's my friend Paul. He just sent me like 15 songs this morning and
He
he's
wants to
calling
know
me.
what you think. And he's probably
Wants
sitting
to
by
know
the
what I
phone going,
think.
she's not replying.
And he's like, she's not responding. And I'm like, hey, darling, I'm on an interview. No, he's awesome. And and that's also the best too. When people come out the blue and send you music,
Yeah.
or like, hey, I thought of you. Would you sing this? Or hey, I wrote this about you. That's even more like, oh, my heart. It's the best. I'm not worried about finding love. Never have been. I remember being young, 14, and relationships were a new thing, and everyone's kind of dating each other in junior high and high school and all of
Yeah.
that. I remember being like, for some reason, deep down, I don't ever think I'm gonna have a problem like finding my person. I know I have to go on this journey. I know I have to find my own way,
Yeah.
and I will find someone who respects me, admires me, and is masculine enough to be with an alpha female. Because when I'm with a manly man, I'm just like,
You can be a girly girl.
I just like melt. Yeah, and it's the best. Like it really is the best. And out here, when you're making music and you're living in New York or Miami or LA or wherever you are, you're a marketer, you're a social media manager, you're a writer, a singer, a producer, you play an instrument, you're an A&R, you do all these jobs, you wear all these hats for yourself.
Yeah.
And you have to control your life because no one else is going to get you there. You have to do every single piece of the job until you can build a team and until the stars align for you. And then you have other people who can do those things for you. But for the most part, it's a very solo dolo lifestyle.
It just is.
And so to find a man that's like, hey, baby, I got you. Like, I love what you do. I'm right here. Like, I'm loving the Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce relationship. Like, I really am. I think it is so cool. And one of my favorite things that she said was that she goes, I'm still going to go out to dinner with my friends, even if it is a spectacle, even if it's a big deal, even if there's paparazzi. I just know what it is now. It just is what it is. And I'm not going to stop doing the things that I love just because everyone wants to take a picture of me doing it.
I
And
I always thought Kanye and Kim would last because they are both crazy in similar ways.
I'm actually bummed that they didn't work out.
Yeah.
I loved Kim Ye. I thought that was a cool duo, but I mean, not all great things last forever. I'm hanging on to Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds. I think they are a beautiful family, and with their 4 children, like
Yeah. Yeah.
talk about pushing the boundaries or rebelling.
Well, Ryan Gosling and Eva Mendes.
Oh my God, right? Like, and she's Cuban, so
Yeah.
it's just I have faith for all these people and I pray for all of these couples that they all work out because I do believe in love. And I believe in love whether it's forever or whether it's for a short time because I feel like
Right.
the timeline of love doesn't exactly matter. You could be with someone for a long time and feel love and you could be with someone for 3 months and fall in love with them too and like that's real.
It
And
happens
that's
all
what we
the
write
time.
songs about. That's what we write songs about. We
I
take
was going to
chances.
say we're writing lyrics, right? We have to write some of this down.
So true.
Or I could just put this episode into AI and say write a song about it.
Do not get me started on this AI bullshit. It is out of control. It's out of control and it's only going to get worse. But again, I
The
have faith.
genie's out.
I have faith in the people. I have faith in the creativity. Like you can't no human is the same, right? Not even twins are like fully
Yeah.
identical. It's so incredible from fingerprinting and everything. It's like, wow, like there really is no such thing as a replica. And that gives me a lot of faith in the future because you can't replicate me. You can't replicate my thoughts, my mind. Like no one else is going to think the way I do or walk through life the way I will. So AI can
I
only
don't
do
know.
AI can only do so much. I have faith in the human race that we will be able to continue to create and use AI as a tool to help us create or as a
the,
tool to help
the
create better
scary
content.
part for me, I grew up pre-computers. So, I mean, I remember life before computers were in your house. Forget cell phones, right?
Well, me too. I'm a 90s baby, so it wasn't there.
It was there.
It was kind of there. We had the big monitor. My dad
Yeah.
used to work for a computer company, so we always had like the big chunky phone
Yeah,
or
yeah.
the big computer pretty early on, but nothing like nothing like the
No, no.
2000s.
So I mean, I the things that scare me is like I was a big Chester Bennington fan from Lincoln Park, and now they're doing songs. They put in his voice into the computer, and now he's singing songs he's never sung before. He just did a duet with Elvis Presley, and you're like, because they scanned in Elvis Presley's voice and they scanned in Chester's voice, and then they wrote a song on AI, and then had their two voices sing it.
And how does it sound? Because I haven't heard it.
Sounds like them. Scary.
It is scary. It is very scary. And again, like I said at the beginning, I think music is going through a revolution right now. I
Yeah.
think music is going through a massive change. And with every industry, we do that. The whole world is going through the ringer right now.
Well,
The entire
A&R execs don't exist anymore. I mean, they don't develop artists anymore. You know, that
no, that's why you have to do it all yourself. You
you do
have
it
to be an
yourself, and the record label
artist.
says, "Well, how many followers do you have? What kind of
Yeah, yeah,
what engagement do you have? What's your content? What's your YouTube page like?" Okay, yeah, we'll sign you because you did all the hard work.
yep. And then they'll still give you a shitty contract.
Yeah.
And then they'll
The
still
contracts are
try to
worse now
get
than they
you.
were back then.
They'll still try to get you. Just hydration is key.
And rest.
It's so true. So true.
Well, I'll let you go. I so appreciate the time. You know, the
That's it? This is all we're going to talk about?
jeez. I'm trying to be nice. I have the tendency of rambling on. My wife's like,
I
you
could talk to you all day. I think we are like we're hitting topics and talking about things that a lot of people are afraid to talk about. And I think that this is the new wave is being able to just be unafraid and be honest about the struggles of being an artist and being in the industry.
well, you know, for my job, my day job is I sell Western clothing, right? And everyone's like, "Oh my God, you're so lucky." And I'm like, "Well, yes, I have a job that pays well, and I get to travel. But I mean, I'm on the road by myself, you know, a couple weeks a month, you know, and staying in different places and hotels, and you know, forgetting this, and you know, I mean, there are challenges with everything. So I don't think a lot of people, especially with singers, like they just see the world famous Sasha Prendes and like, oh, she's so lucky. Oh, she's so lucky.
I have no idea.
Exactly.
Uh, it's interesting. I mean, everything from struggling with body image, eating disorders, depression, anxiety, which I mean, everyone, whether you're a singer or not, is struggling with all types of issues like that. Um, but I think social media can be super misleading because you only
What
see
do
it's the highlight reel, it's the resume, it's the here are all the good parts. You don't always see the bad parts. So where I like to incorporate the bad parts and
My
show people
music.
that I'm a real person, that I'm not AI, is in interviews and also in my music videos. And
Yeah.
in the music, that's when I really talk about the hard stuff. And in my new music video for Stay, I've been posting little teaser clips. I'm like in the shower and I got like the makeup running down, I'm crying and it's like it's cool. It's real. It's cool. It's
Yeah.
authentic. We need more of that. Be
Well, I
yourself.
think, you know, especially like when you were young, you know, the Britney, the Paris Hilton, the that Lindsay Lohan, that whole kind of vibe was glamour and Kim, you know, and now it's kind of hopefully getting back to more real. You don't need too much of everything.
And then you have like Uber depression, which became really hot too. Like Billie Eilish's music is pretty dark,
Yeah, yeah, really dark.
pretty dark, and she's a peanut. So I'm like, you're so young.
Yeah.
How are you this sad? And it's
Sure,
wild.
Ocean's like at 12 or 13.
13, I think,
Yeah.
something crazy like that. I mean, baby girl is a peanut and she's so talented and I love her work. But then you have, that's like the dark side where like a majority of the music now is like super sad and everyone's depressed and
Oh, so I
everyone's going through it.
a
It's
question I
wild.
wanted to ask you. I was really thinking about this. Me growing up, we had Gloria Estefan.
Okay.
We had a lot of, not a lot, we had several Hispanic singers. Who's your contemporary?
I'd say who I looked up to as like a Latin pop star
Shakira.
would be J-Lo,
Yeah.
Shakira, Thalia, Gloria Estefan. Right now, my favorite pop star is Becky G.
Okay.
She's my favorite right now. You just see her growth. I saw her, like, when she had, like, a small role on Empire, like, 10 years ago when she was a little peanut, and she looked completely different, and I see her now, and she's just so beautiful, and she's on the glow up, and you see her just
Doing
just killing it, and it's awesome to see. So I really she's kinda she gives me Britney vibes. She gives me, like, OG Britney vibes, but from a in her own way, in her own Latina.
it.
Yeah, it's awesome. There's so many great people, so many great influences, um, of women in music and
But
Latin
I
music.
mean, how many Spanish Spanglish singing stars are there right now? Because
I think
J-Lo's in her 50s, Shakira's in her 40s, maybe 50s,
yeah, and a
in her
lot of Becky
60s.
G's music is, like, either all Spanish,
Yeah.
but I think for me, it's been about just being real, and sometimes I feel things have to come out in Spanish, and sometimes how I wanna say it is better articulated in English, so I just do both, and some people are like, "Oh, I wish this whole verse was in Spanish," or why is this one line in Spanish?" And I'm like, "That's just how I feel. That's just how I felt."
Write your own music.
Yeah, write your own fucking songs. So, I think that's the beauty of it, and that's the best part about
Absolutely.
creating is that you get to just be yourself, and, I've worked with teams before that tried to make me something I wasn't, and that really sucks. When someone's like, "Oh my god, Sasha, we love you. We love your work. We love you and your style and your whole everything, and then now we're just gonna change it." And then my fans who've been with me from the jump are like, "The fuck is this?"
Yeah.
Or
No, you have to, I mean, you're gonna change and some of your fans won't. Metallica, this is back in the early 80s. Metallica had like hardcore metal fans, and they weren't played on the they weren't allowed on MTV, and you didn't hear them on the radio. There were no radio stations that played heavy metal.
they didn't play Metallica on the radio.
No, no, God, no. You never heard Metallica on the radio ever. I mean,
Well,
so you had to buy their album and you had to be a fan to know their music. Well, then they came out with "And Justice for All," which was and they had some slower songs on there, and their fans lost their minds. And they're like, "Yeah, but we're changing as artists. Like, this is a song we want to play now." Like,
okay, so total valid point, right? You change, you grow.
yeah,
I think a piece of me was aware of that at a young age when I first started because my favorite type of music to sing and write and play to is acoustic,
mhm.
like when in
Your
acapella.
stripped down versions and all that. Yeah,
Love my stripped down versions. Like eventually, as things progress, I will have a stripped down version of every song that I put out, just because I want people who hear me sing, one, know that I can really sing, and I don't use autotune, and we don't use a lot of vocal effects on my voice, thank God, which is great.
yeah.
I love singing live, that's, like, my thing, and to get down to the heart of the story, right? When I'm like, yeah, I'm sitting on my living room floor crying, playing my little shitty board piano, trying to figure out the notes for this song to express how I'm feeling to get this out, and I feel like acoustic music takes you there,
Yeah.
and it brings you into the story and into the heart of it. And then with other music, like my song "Stay," you have the bass and you have the
Oh,
guitars and you have the harmonies, and the harmonies like stab you in the heart and they make you go, "Oh, I feel it even more." So two things can be true at the same time. I need all of it. I need all of
sure.
it. I make all of it. And my genre varies. I have Spanglish songs. I have acoustic songs. I have power ballads. I have EDM tracks.
Yeah.
I have just hip hop, R&B style. So I think I kind of set myself up in a way to do anything. I even have like a rock song called Understandably. And if you're into rock, you should totally listen to it. It's like my hardcore. Someone was like, "I didn't know you were into hard rock." I was like, "I wouldn't classify it as hard rock, but dope. Thank you." Because I
You
love
have to.
Evanescence.
Yeah.
Like Evanescence is like pop lyrics, power ballad, but with rock music, with rock instruments and instrumentals. I'm like, "Yes, this is so cool." So I feel like you can't put me in a box, but the writing is cohesive. So the
Yeah.
instruments and the production may change, but the writing is cohesive, the story is cohesive, the voice is cohesive, and you're
You
like,
got to be
okay,
driving A&R, your label people crazy. Because
yeah, I think I drive everybody a little bit crazy.
yeah, no, I mean I'm serious because like I could see different label people saying, "Oh, you're a great pop singer. Well, we got to put you in this box, and we need songs like this." And you're like,
And
"Yeah,
I'm
but I
happy
hate
to
my
do
rock
that.
song." And
I'm happy to do that,
yeah,
but no one's really given me a firm opportunity, or maybe not opportunity, a firm deal with the direction that I saw really had longevity in the future.
yeah, yeah.
So people would
That's
be
what
like,
I'm
"Oh
saying.
yeah, do this. Oh, do this." Okay, well then I start losing followers, or people are like, "Your brand is tanking. What the fuck are they having you wear?" And I'm having people from the past, from other companies, other people of interest who are like, "Yeah, this is really cool. We love you, but like, what the fuck is that?" And I'll be like, I don't know. I'm just trying to grow. I'm trying to change. I'm trying to let some of the people I'm working with do their job and put in their input, put in their expertise. And I'm willing to try everything. But when you start getting that feedback, and if I also am going, I'm not really crazy about this look either, or
Yeah,
I don't love this song, and then the fans don't love the song, then I think me and the fans are more in tune than you think. And then who's out of sync? Who's out of tune with me, right? And the best compliment I've gotten in the last several weeks has been, "Oh my God, I love what you're putting out and I love the direction it's going. It's so real. It's so you. You look great, blah,
yeah,
blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, cool, I'm just being me.
yeah.
I'm literally just being me. And that I think is the most validating part of it.
I think that I can tell you, because I get on a much smaller scale. I have people say, "Well, you should only interview musicians, or you should only interview athletes, or you should only interview business people." And I'm like, "Yeah, but I want to talk to all three of them."
Yeah,
And they're like, "Yeah,
exactly.
but people that because like I interview volleyball players, right?" And all of a sudden, I get some volleyball fans, followers, and they're like, "Yeah, but now you're interviewing Sasha Prendes." And then I'll have some friends, people that are like, "Oh, Sasha Prendes, that's great, can't wait." And then next week it'll be some country singer, and then the next, and I have people said you need to narrow your focus for your podcast. I'm like, no, no,
Thank you. I'm sorry. No one's buying albums anymore.
no,
No one's buying music. So it's all about singles. So if there are people who love our interview and want to listen to us and want to listen to more of us, there's plenty of other interviews that I've done
yeah,
and you've done with other artists as well that they can listen to if that interests them more. But everyone is like handpicking a la carte the music they listen to, the episodes they watch,
yeah.
all available. So
I
for
feel
some,
like my generation was part of that because that's when we started doing the mixtapes.
yeah,
So you used to like you'd have a tape recorder and you would play the one song on the album, and then you'd hit stop and then pick it up, put your next album on, then hit record, and that's how we made our mixtapes. And then they started doing it in the stores. That's when it all changed.
it all changed.
Yeah, no more albums.
And then you had like the Now albums. Do you remember those?
Yeah,
Like
that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
the best. I used to love those. Yeah, it was a medley of like
yeah.
all
But
your favorite
as an
songs.
artist, you hated it
What do you mean?
because if you're an artist, you got paid X amount for that one. For if Sasha Prendes Brooklyn is on Now 19, you only got paid for that one song, and they weren't going to buy your whole album anymore.
Yeah, that's true too.
But as
But
an
then you
artist,
had
you're
to
like,
choose.
yeah, I'm getting more press for Brooklyn, but all my other songs that really mean a lot to me aren't getting anything because it's not part of Now 19.
And that I think was the beginning of the change because
I'm saying,
that's the way it is now, right? You have a single, you hear it on the radio, and then it's up to the listener to go and do a little more research and listen to the rest of your stuff. If you like one song, you'll probably like another one.
yeah,
Probably another one. You want to get to know me? Oh, okay. She said something that intrigued me. Oh shit. Her ex died. Oh my gosh, what's that song about? Let me listen to that. Oh, I experienced that too. We get dark. We get dark. We get deep. There's no light without dark.
well, you
So
get to it. I'm kidding.
so that's the album. That's an album, right? It takes you on this journey. If every song was positive and fun and go lucky, people would be like, "Oh, she has no depth."
Yeah,
But then if all my shit
you
is
can't
like dark,
win, right?
dark and depressing, oh, she's too depressing. She's too dark. You need more
She's too
fun.
bubbly.
Cool. Cool, guys. At the end of the day, you just got to do whatever you want. And this is why I love and respect all these artists that are just like genre bending.
Yeah.
and making whatever it is that they want, because there's no guarantee that someone's gonna listen to your entire discography. There's no guarantee that someone's gonna listen to your project in full. Most people listen to singles. Everyone's attention span is short. TikTok brain, everyone's got TikTok brain.
The,
And again, it all comes down to how much do you love it and how bad does your soul need to make this record? And then you put it out and just kind of see what happens.
so, because I don't want it to eat up all your time.
Okay.
If the way for my fans to follow you is sashaprendes.com, Sasha Prendes on Instagram, Sasha Prendes on TikTok, Sasha Prendes on Apple, kind of
Yeah.
Spotify.
Sasha Prendes. Me puede buscar, encontrar en todos los lugares donde puede escuchar la música, mirar video, everything. You can watch my videos, you can stream my music. We
Todo.
can talk, you can talk to me, you can DM me. I'm gonna be performing and come to my shows. I post about everything,
Come to
you know.
LA. Come out, play out here.
I'm excited. I do plan on going to LA at some point. I'm not sure if it's gonna be this year, but we're looking at an international tour right now, having some conversations and seeing what that would look like, but definitely want to get out to LA, and I would love to see you. Maybe do like an in studio interview.
That'd be awesome. And
That
maybe
would be dope.
when you get your tour dates, we'll do another schedule.
Yeah, that would be awesome. And then my video, we're still shooting it. It's in the works, it's in editing, and we still have some more scenes and whatnot to shoot. But I will definitely let you know, and it'd
Perfect.
be awesome to do a launch together. And
It'd be
yeah,
awesome.
it'd be great.
All
Oh,
right.
thanks,
Thank you
Peter. I
so much,
appreciate
Sasha.
you. Thank you so much.
Talk to
It
you
was so
soon.
good talking to you.
Bye bye. And that concludes this incredible episode with the extraordinary Sasha Prendes. I hope you enjoyed the captivating journey into the world of her music, from her Cuban roots to her Kansas upbringing. Sasha's unique blend of influences truly created something special. I was honored to have her share her passion, talent, and stories with us. Make sure to follow Sasha on her social media channels and stay tuned for her latest releases and upcoming tours. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel to support the artists that we feature. Have a good day, guys.